Hey, what's happening today, guys? What's good? Just back with another video here. Just meeting my obligations to myself and being accountable. I almost went to sleep, but I thought to myself, man, I didn't put out a video. Gotta do it. So I'm going to show some people some cool stuff today that you might not know or you might think you're not allowed to do. And it can be an interesting way to go for these times. What I mean by that is like the pandemic going on. Um, a lot of people run out of stock of stuff. And from what I understand, they still haven't lifted the inbound shipping for your stock. So a lot of people just have stuff sitting in warehouses. They can't ship in, new ideas they can't go with unless you're an essential product. So that can be a little frustrating. So I did a previous video just a couple nights ago about opportunity everywhere. There really is opportunity everywhere. So let me talk about something you can do. Now, there is some risk involved, so it's up to you if you decide to do this. I personally will not be doing this. I will be doing some other things, but kind of taking a little bit of my background that I've studied in dropshipping and kind of incorporated that into Amazon, that you can do that. So let me show you what the deal is with that. Um, First of all, let's talk about dropshipping. A lot of people think you can't dropship. That's not true. You can dropship on Amazon. And here's the policy right here on Amazon Seller Central. So I don't want to read this whole thing, but basically it's saying that drop shipping or allowing a third party to fulfill orders to customers on your behalf is generally acceptable. If you intend to fulfill the orders using a drop shipper, you must always. So here's the requirements right here. So here's what you kind of can do and what you can't do. Generally, they like you to put an invoice in with your product, but you can probably get away with that. Just make sure that whoever you're using for your drop shipping, make sure that they're not going to put their information in, that it's going to be your information. Generally, if anybody knows anything about drop shipping, when you get it off AliExpress, you can put a message in there saying, I'm drop shipping, please put my information in there, don't include anything else. And many of these suppliers are aware of that, they're aware you're using them as a drop shipper, and they'll be able to take care of that for you. So, yeah, if you've ever done drop shipping or tried it, you probably know that already. If you haven't, and a lot of people haven't, if you're just doing Amazon FBA, but how does this all tie in? So there's so many people doing it. If you look around on Amazon, you'll see a ton of people doing it. You might just not realize it. They're for sale by merchant. You might think they're shipping it out of their warehouse. What they're actually doing is they're shipping it in from either China or they're shipping it in from a USA warehouse from AliExpress. I'm going to show you how to do that today. So here's some cool things you can do right now. Yes, you can't get create new new shipments right now, for many things, but what you can do is do for sale by merchant. Now you can do it without even having to have, and that's what drop shipping essentially is. So for those of you that don't know, drop shipping is you're using another supplier that has all the inventory. When you make a sale, you purchase it off of that person or that supplier, and then they ship it out to the customer directly. You never have to have anything in inventory. There's very little worry there because you don't have to buy 1,000 units or 500 units. You only buy off of them what you sell. When you sell it at a markup, you keep the difference. So essentially, you can do that on Amazon. Now again, there's risks involved here. Let's say the supplier doesn't deliver it within the expected time. Well, then who's going to get a bad review? You are. So I'm not suggesting you do any of this. I'm just showing you what you can do and what some people do. And there is opportunity here. There's always you got to factor in the risk reward for yourself. So let's check this out. So you must be the seller of the record on your products. That's what I'm saying about when you do this. You have to write a message to the seller when you buy it off AliExpress. It'll give you a spot there. Said I'm drop shipping. Please, don't put any of your information in. Put my information in. Identify yourself as a seller on all packing slips, invoices, and that's what I mean by what I just mentioned. Remove any packing slips or invoice identifying you as a third party. Be responsible for accepting and processing returns. So if they do send it back to you, you would have to then have it sent to your address, and then you would have to take that package and send it back to the USA dropshipper or wherever you go out, the Chinese dropshipper. I would not dropship from China right now. We'll talk about that. And comply with all other seller agreements and applicable Amazon policies. There's a lot there. That's kind of a wide net they can cast to pretty much say, well, we can do what we want, we're Amazon. So here's what's not permitted, and here's what a hijacker jumped on one of my listings, and it was interesting because I mean, you might have this problem if you have a hijacker on your listing. What do you do? So what? I finally got a representative in the United States, um, and the reason I say that is because she understood what you kind of could and couldn't do, and she was able to answer me after I talked to people for like over an hour out of the country. They just didn't know. I don't know if they're not trained. They just didn't know what to do. They had to refer to a supervisor. It took forever. They never got back to me like they said they would. As usual, Seller Central for Amazon is some of the worst I've ever dealt with. I think most of you can agree with that if you've ever had to call them. They're really, really bad. Now, I'm not talking about Amazon's customer service. They are excellent. But I'm talking about seller support. They are unfortunately not typically very good. Um, Sometimes you do get a really great person, and I think they mean well. I just don't know if they're not trained or if it's the policies that are confusing to them as well as to us as sellers. But it really, I'd almost rather beat my head off a brick wall for an hour than talk to seller support, because a lot of times they don't follow up with you, they can't answer your questions, and it's unbelievably frustrating because if we as sellers don't understand the policies and they don't understand the policies as seller support, where do we go from there? So it can be a very frustrating experience, but I'll stop harping on that and tell you what this hijacker was doing when I found out. So what I did is I ordered a product for somebody trying to hijack my private label. So there was two of them, and two things happened. First, the person that sent it, what they did is they purchased it, and this is against terms and conditions of Amazon. They sent it directly from, what they did is they went out and bought, there was two pieces to my listing. They bought both pieces from separate sellers on Amazon and had it shipped out to me. So number one, it showed different order numbers from Amazon than what I ordered. That's against terms and conditions. You're not allowed to do that. If the shipment does not identify you as a seller of record, or if anyone other than you, including the other online retailer, appears in the packing slips, invoices, or external packaging, that's against terms and conditions. So I'm getting invoices from these two other Amazon sellers that he ordered off of and combine the products to send out to me. That's against terms and conditions. You're not allowed to do that. And nothing was in the package identifying that it was him that was shipping it to me. So I had no idea. Shipping orders with packing slips, same thing. Invoices, external packaging, or other information indicating a seller name or contact information other than your own. So you cannot drop ship from Amazon on Amazon. You cannot order from other Amazon sellers, combine those things, or just order it and mark it up a few bucks under a different listing and ship it out. That's against terms and conditions. It's clearly right there. And that's what these sellers were doing. I reported them. I don't know whatever came of that. I still think they're allowed to sell. Needless to say, they're not on my list anymore. So that's one way to deal with a hijacker. Many of these hijackers are doing exactly that. And there you go. That's against terms and conditions. You can get them kicked off. Number two, I never got the package for the other one. I ended up getting the tracking number. It was supposed to be delivered like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. They were delivering it via China Post. So they were drop shipping from China. The person that did that was not an experienced seller. They were hijacking my listing. Apparently that's allowed because Amazon doesn't do anything about that unless you're brand registered. So if you can get brand registered, it's very expensive though, and it's a long process. You're talking many, many months. I'm in the process of doing it right now. Just giving you guys a heads up. So anyway, kind of getting off topic, but hopefully I'm giving you guys some good information, because you're going to run into this stuff once you start getting bigger and selling. People are going to hijack your listings, and you're going to have issues with... Anyway, let's get back on topic. Drop shipping. So they're drop shipping, and I still haven't received the package. I was supposed to receive it like 2 weeks ago. I already got a full refund. Who knows if that package is going to show up one day from China. Everything's delayed from there. That is such a foolish move on his part. He said, oh, there's a delay in our warehouse. He was lying to me. It's shipping from China. I mean, that's crazy. This guy's trying to scam me. He's trying to scam Amazon. I reported him. Needless to say, he is no longer selling under my listing either. There is still one hijacker I have to see about, but... So if you get a hijacker and their price is really high and you're not in stock and they just kind of stick around on there hijacking your listing, using your reviews that you've worked so hard for, this is one way to do it. You can order their items. If it's counterfeit, if it doesn't have the same packaging, If it doesn't have the insert I was told by customer support or seller support, whether that's true or not, I can't say. But I was told if it's not authentic, if it doesn't have that information, you can report them for, well, I want to say counterfeit. So, but that's very hard to prove. They're going to ask you for all kinds of things. It's going to be very frustrating, more than likely. But yeah, that's a counterfeit product. If they're shipping you something different than what you're actually selling, if it doesn't have, that's why it's always important, I think, too, to get your label on your product. Because if you don't have it labeled somewhere, what's to stop somebody from doing the exact same thing and shipping it out without the label on? In that case, they're not really sending a different product. If they're sending the same exact thing, a lot of these manufacturers are making the exact same product. So, hijacking listings not exactly, it's frowned upon, but it's not exactly against terms and conditions, so they can do it. But when they try to do drop shipping illegally, that's an easy one to catch them on. So, give you guys a heads up how you might be able to save your listing, and you might be able to hurt them for trying to steal your listing, which I don't care about people that try to steal your listing. I think it's a very wrong thing to do. People worked really hard on making that listing. If it's a general product, you can jump on it. It's okay. But if it's a private label product and you've labeled it and you've done all the things to get the reviews by doing the customer service for it and trying to be the best you can be as a seller to get those reviews within terms and conditions, and somebody jumps on and steals your listing, that's not cool. Anyway, done harping on that. So let's talk about this. So why do I have a Trump hat up? So whether or not you're a fan, it doesn't make a difference. Because once this pandemic, I think, kind of dies down, I think what's going to happen here is obviously the election stuff's going to pick back up. So I think it might be a good thing to move into. There's obviously a lot of stuff going out of stock right now, across the board, on Amazon, because you simply can't ship in. You cannot ship in to Amazon yet unless you're one of those, luckily approved products, or if you had a shipping plan created before that. So anyway, why did I choose this? I just kind of did. There's different hats and stuff. I think this is going to pick back up once the election stuff, the pandemic hopefully dies down. But there's opportunity. So whatever's kind of getting out of stock, here's what you can do. You can use drop shipping, as I showed you. It's not against terms and conditions if you use it properly. So if you've never done it, what you can do, and this is actually on AliExpress, okay? Now, what most people might not know if you've never done drop shipping before or if you've never studied it, is that there are drop shippers right now on Amazon doing exactly what I'm about to show you. If they're not Prime, like, I don't even know. Let's click on this one. So this is not Amazon Prime. You don't see the Prime anywhere. They're for sale by merchant. Look at all the different options they have. Do you really think... Now, maybe they do. Maybe they have these all in stock. But I doubt they do. So deliveries by April 18th. Amazon's backed up right now. So you have an advantage there. If you can find a U.S. shipper for something that's kind of low in stock... So what you could do, let's say there's an item, and I'm just using this one as an example. Let's say you wanted to list all this stuff, or you found a listing for all these hats on Amazon. What you could actually do is you can go through here. I just put in Donald Trump because I'm assuming he's going to be popular. His stuff's going to be popular during the election for all those Trump supporters. So what you can do is, you see how I have right here, I typed in what I was looking for. You could even put hat. Okay. If you're looking for a hat or a shirt, whatever you're looking for. I typed in fast shipping, and you could even do free shipping, but fast shipping is the important one because that's going to bring up ship from the United States. Okay? So we know we can potentially get that product to customers, in some cases, within 4 to 7 days. That's extremely fast considering the climate right now with Amazon. Sometimes some of these products aren't getting delivered until near the end of the month for Amazon Prime members. So you could get it to them faster than Prime could get it to them in a lot of cases. If you find the right product, you could create the listing that same day and be selling within an hour or two of creating the listing. You could be selling it right away. You just have to find the right supplier on AliExpress. So I've clicked on this particular one because here's our price. So we can go through here. You see the price is very little bit for each hat. Okay. Now you could just make a flat price. Now there's a flat shipping charge of $5.66. Now there's not going to be a ton of margin here. You know, you add in that $5.66 with the $2.80. Let's just say we're going to be around $9. You have to probably sell these hats for, you know, with the fees, probably $15-20. Okay. Again, this might not be the best example of what to do, but you can imagine how you can find other products. You can also do this on eBay. It doesn't have to be Amazon. People do it on eBay all the time. You can do this for, obviously, Shopify sites. If you want to run Facebook ads and you want to do that, you could create a whole political store if you wanted to. I have a feeling that's going to be pretty big. So typically what a lot of drop shippers will do is they'll have it shipped from China. You'll see the price, free shipping, $3.50. Right, the price is a lot cheaper, and you can do something called e-packet, which is right here. Very cheap shipping, right? An e-packet, it'll get it there by May 14th. That's what a lot of drop shippers tend to do. So then you're only paying like $5 and change for that hat, and you have a lot more margin. So you can sell it for $15. You can have it shipped for free. You can make $10 a pop, right? That's what drop shippers do. That's how it's done. So if you were doing it from Amazon, you wouldn't want to have it. Some people do, but you see how it says 4 to 7 days? You would want to find a product that you can sell, and this would be about $8 and change. Maybe you can sell it for $20 because there's going to be fees. There's going to be a referral fee. So you could have this shipped out to them within 47 business days. I think it's just 47 days, actually. Don't quote me on that, but yeah, I think it's just 4 to 7 days by the United States Postal Service. So they have stock in the United States. They can ship it right out to people in the U.S. So very cool. You can actually do this with a lot of things. Anything you kind of notice on Amazon that would be running low, you could even do it with like sanitizer. But I looked it up, and they're even overcharged on AliExpress for sanitizer. So, I mean, you could do like, I think I found Donald Trump toilet paper. If you're not a fan, I guess. You could actually go ahead and have that shipped out quickly too. So you have to find the right shipper, and the way you do that is you would go to AliExpress, you click on fast shipping, that typically will do it, and then if you want to further do United States, some will be 4 to 12 day shipping, some will be 4 to 7 day shipping. It can vary, but it doesn't have to be these items. It can really be anything. Like, let's click on sports and entertainment. That's the first one that came up. All right, let's go camping and hiking, right? Well, I'm just going to search for anything in general. Let's say you want to do consumer electronics. Camera and photo. All right. Let's say you want to do a drone or whatever. Let's just see what they have in here. So we go fast shipping from the United States. So all of this stuff has the potential. So here's a light box. I actually would like to get one of these. Great for eBay or whatever you're shooting. It actually allows it to have a white background. It's not, I'm pretty sure it's not that big. That's kind of misrepresentation. It might, I don't know. You'd have to do a centimeter conversion. But point being is, so when you click on the United States, 5 to 7 days right there. So you could have this in the hands of somebody for 67 plus 526. It's probably a pretty big box for that price. But you could have this in the hands of somebody within 5 to 7 business days. You could do Amazon FBM. For those of you that don't know, it's for sale by merchant. You could do that without ever having to have anything in stock. It's really low risk as far as the inventory and getting stuck with a bunch of inventory. However, again, you'd probably want to at least place an order from this person first, check the quality of it, and make sure you do get it on time. You don't want to get bad reviews on Amazon for doing this, but it's not against terms and conditions if you can make sure they don't put anything in the box. So let me just show you. If I were to click, I'm not sure it'll even give me a chance to do that. Anyway, I'm not going to sign in. When you do go in here, it's going to give you an option to send a message to the shipper. And you can tell them I'm drop shipping. Please don't include anything from your store in there. If anything, can you put this? So there you go, guys. Talked about a couple things. Talked about hijackers. how you can actually kind of catch them in the act. Talked about what the actual policies are for Amazon. If you look it up, just look up dropshipping policy on Amazon. This is under Seller Central. Talked about how you can drop ship from for sale by merchant on Amazon or on eBay or on a Shopify site, and how you can get that stuff much faster if you choose a USA shipper. You will pay more, yes, but how chaotic it is right now with shipping on Amazon, there's such delays that there is opportunity there. If you find products that are out of stock, you can ship them quickly to the people in 5 to 7 business days. That's pretty quick when Amazon, in some cases, isn't getting people their stuff till the end of the month or even into potentially May. So hope this helps out, guys. It's going to give you it's just a basic lesson in drop shipping, and you can really do this, like I said, with your own e-commerce store, with Amazon or eBay. Just make sure you're following within those terms and conditions, and I hope this helps out, guys. If you have any other questions or anything you'd like me to talk about, please let me know. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. I hope I'm bringing you guys some content that is interesting and that you might not know about, that I've kind of picked up as I've gone along. Some stuff kind of off the norm and just a little different that a lot of people might not realize, because I've studied a little bit of drop shipping, wholesaling. I like to have a well-diversified background, but I really am about Amazon FBA and about private labeling. So any questions or anything you guys want me to cover, please let me know. Have a great night, and peace, guys. Take it easy.